You said something, Daniel, that I really like, this notion of the truth of the brand. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think brands start out being truthful, and then as they're passed from one agency to another agency and one CMO to another CMO, they lose their way. Right? And in fact, Pentium at one point was one of the most recognized brands in the world. It was in the top 10, right? And now today it was moved into a kind of a value brand, and now it's obsolete, right? That's a tragedy. It's hard to have one of the most recognized brands in the world as a company, and then to just watch it drift away. But the truth of the brand, I think, is really an important thing, because I think that truthfulness is in the name, its intrinsic values, and then the sound that either precedes it or supports it or follows it.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is we get so far from truth, don't we? And we've all played the game where you draw a head and then you fold the paper over and you draw another. And then you end up with this strange beast where everyone's written their own little piece of it. This kind of palimpsest of how brands show up. It's like we're so far from the naming of these great brands. Some of them are 100, 200 years old. It's hard to know what the truth was. So I think there's a little bit of analysis to be done on existing brand names before we get into any sort of creative process on sonic branding or doing that together. And that certainly hasn't been done to my knowledge.
No, and that's something we can do at Lexicon. And Sanjeev, you're, as a linguist and a cognitive scientist, this will be a role that you'll play. But we can easily profile a name from all of its sound symbolic properties. And then we add, moving away from sound, but very helpful to the truth of a name, is its concreteness, its emotional values, its sentiment, letter structure, all these things reported in one simple document, one page usually, right? And then turn that over to Daniel and his team.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool to highlight the dissonance, the creative dissonance, the lack of harmony between the brand name and how it shows up? And again, it's something that we could quite easily look at and listen to. A brand like Coca-Cola, who have not designed sound around their brand name, which seems crazy to me.
If any brand name is ripe for a signature, it would be the beauty of the Coca-Cola company. Right?
Yeah, and every brand that's done sonic branding but not related to name, we're going to see a gap between where they were when they named themselves and where they should be now. I'm excited about seeing that. Are we going to do the work?
Yes.
We've got to do the work. We're in California after all.